welcome back to yoga. Glad to have you. Today we're going to, I'm just going to show you a few stretches, some movements that you can do anywhere and everywhere. Oftentimes we don't have the space, we don't have the time to do a full yoga flow in class. And so I just want to offer you some different things that you can do, maybe while you're waiting on a job, standing in line at the store, whatever it might be. So first I want to begin just with a short centering exercise, a short breathing exercise. Especially if you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or stressed, you can do it for a minute, you can do it for 5 minutes, however long you have or feel is needed. So to begin, to start with that, whether you are standing or seated, either way is fine. But first, just try to feel the ground beneath your feet. Just really feel the surface below you supporting you from underneath, that connection between your feet and the ground. Just noticing that there. And then you can keep those eyes open, again, just depending on where you use this, or those eyes can be closed. While keeping a gentle awareness on the connection of your feet and the ground, try to notice your breath, however you are breathing just right now in this moment. And as you continue to breathe, slowly working into it, making those breaths a little bit longer, but try to get to the point where you might be able to breathe into the count of 4 and out to the count of 4. And if that just feels too forced or not comfortable, feel free to keep it at a lower number, at 2 or 3. The goal just being to even out those breaths, making the inhale the same length as the exhale. And as you do so, as you are counting the length of your breaths, it really helps to keep the awareness, the focus on the breath in the moment. And as we make those inhales and exhales the same length, it helps to balance the nervous system, to bring us down if we're elevated, or to maybe bring us up if we were a little bit down here. So 3 more breaths here, maybe breathing into the count of 4. And out to the count of 4. Now coming back to your natural breath whenever you would like, just want to show you a few shoulder openers that you can do, again, seated or standing. So first one being just a few circles with those shoulders. Sometimes all we need to do is just move that area. So you can try a couple circles, forward and back. Just try going both directions a few times. Sometimes one way feels a little better than the other. And then another one you might do is relaxing those shoulders down the back. So you're just standing or seated nice and tall, and you might bring one hand behind you. Just bringing your right hand to your left wrist. As you do so, try bringing your right ear a little closer to that right shoulder. So you're just getting a little stretch through the side of the neck and the upper shoulder. Now again, you can also do this with these arms just along the sides, but to take this a little bit deeper, if you have that right hand on the left wrist, you can gently use the fingertips on the right hand to press the wrist away from the body. And just notice that might change the stretch a little bit. Another option, with the right hand on the wrist, you can gently pull that wrist down towards the floor. And then maybe try it on the other side, bringing your left hand to the right wrist and bringing left ear to left shoulder. And then again, you can gently press that wrist away from the body with those left fingertips. Or you can draw the wrist down towards the ground. Bringing those hands back to the front whenever you're ready. Maybe you shake it out. Okay, another thing that I love to do anywhere is keeping those feet grounded. Again, a great starting point for anything is just to feel that connection. But just let those arms sway and just kind of move side to side. This is great for that lower back. If you've been seated for a long time, maybe you're warming up to do something. Maybe not do this in the grocery store line, but if you're by yourself or in the office or something, you can just sway side to side. Just let those arms completely relax. Keeping those feet grounded, and then just move as much as you would like. All right. As you come back to center, moving back into those shoulders. Another great one, as you roll those shoulders down the back, is to just bring your hands to your lower back, so just to those hips. Now as you breathe in, turning that gaze slightly up and just lift the heart up towards the ceiling or the chest lifted, and then as you breathe out, try to draw those elbows back toward one another while you gently press those hips forward. This is a great one to open the front of those shoulders that are so often rounded forward. To open the front of those shoulders, to open through the heart, and also through the front of the belly, the core. So as you do so, again, try to drop those shoulders down away from those ears. Elbows are reaching toward one another like they're trying to get closer. And then you can come back whenever you'd like. Okay, one more shoulder and heart opener. Again, is to bring these hands behind the body, but this time interlacing the fingers. As you do so, you roll those shoulders down the back and try to straighten or engage those arms, and then just reach those hands straight down towards the floor. The gaze can be straight ahead, and just try to lift the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. You might feel a little stretch or lengthening through the sides of the neck here. So you can do that by just reaching straight down, or you can draw those hands away from the body. So again, just some different options to open the front of the shoulders and the chest. Now if you're feeling a little tight through the back of the shoulders, the upper back, again, this one might not be a great one just out in public, but you can try by crossing these elbows, crossing those arms. And we call this eagle arms, but the goal here, as those arms are crossed, is to lift the elbows up away from those, up away from the face, and then you drop those shoulders down and back. And again, hopefully you can feel it through the backs of those shoulders here. And anytime you're doing any of these stretches, try to just pause and breathe. So you can get stretched, but also a grounding and some recentering, refocusing. And whatever you do on one side, you want to do on the other side. So as you release those arms, you can shake them out and then just cross the other elbow on top. Bringing fingertips to palms, or you can even just reach the tops of your hands toward one another. And then once again, lifting the elbows up, dropping the shoulders down. You can even bring your chin towards your chest here to take it into the neck a little further. Holding for as long as you'd like. Okay, so there's some good little shoulder, chest opener ones. Now let's move into those legs, the lower back and the hips. So if you are standing, just wherever you might be, one of my favorites is just to take a little step back. It doesn't have to be a very big step. Now here, you can do it subtly as you would like. I'll show you kind of the full expression. Pretty much just coming into triangle. So it doesn't have to be a very far stance. You can step further if you like. But I have my left foot forward and my right foot back. So with my left hand, I'm just going to hinge at the left hip and just kind of fold over the leg. The right hand can just hang out here on the hip, or for a deeper stretch, you can reach the hand up. Again, here we're targeting the top of the side of the hip, the lower back, as you extend. But again, you can do it here, just keep the hand on the hip, and just casually fold over that leg. When you're ready with that one, you can slowly come back to center, still staying in the stance, and just face the same direction as this left foot. Again, here hands can come to those hips. You can bring them behind the body, or they can come forward and just gently fold over this front leg to get a nice extension through the back of that front leg here. Try to keep those hips squared with one another. And then you can slowly come up as you are ready. Again, you can hold in any one of these stretches for as long as you'd like. And then to switch sides, all you have to do is just turn and face the opposite way. To go into that triangle, you want your torso to be facing sideways, and then all you do is hinge at that right hip. So try to drop your shoulder, your hip, Just staying facing sideways here. You can keep this top hand on the hip or you can reach it up. It's great for that lower back. Try to take a few breaths here. And then maybe as you stand back up, you face forward the same direction as those front toes. And then again, maybe your hands come to your hip and you just hinge at those hips. Try to stay long through the spine. Breathing into wherever you feel a stretch here. And slowly back up to center as you're ready. Okay, so those are just a few little stretches, things you can do if you just have a minute or two, or even longer. You can just take some longer breaths in each. Last one that I just wanted to show you was to bring those feet out wide. Just a nice little forward fold, which is a great release for the lower back, especially to counteract if you sit a lot or standing a lot during the day. But just bending into those knees as you gently fold over those legs. And you can bring those hands to your legs. They can come to the floor. You can walk them back behind you on the floor. Or my favorite is bringing your hands to your elbows and just letting the top of your head relax down towards the floor. You can just stay and hang out here for as long as you'd like. You can even sway side to side. You can try shifting your weight maybe a little more into those toes or back into those heels. But just make sure you keep a little bend in those knees, because that's what will take the tension and pressure out of that lower back. So as you come up, make sure to keep those knees bent to help use your legs, help you lift and steady your back. But that's a great one to do after you've been sitting for a while. So those are just a few little stretches. Hopefully this is helpful for you. And feel free to reach out or leave a comment if you have some requests of things you'd like to see in the future. So hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for all that you do. Namaste.